let them be a point of departure when it comes to building a strong relationship with Nahj al-Balagha. If I may ask a rhetorical question, kindly pay attention, brothers and sisters. Pay attention, keep quiet and pay attention to this. Don't worry about the children. That's why they are called children. Don't worry. I'm very loud, so they will not distract you. Don't worry about that. It's a rhetorical question I have. When last did you go through Nahj al-Balagha and implemented something from Nahj al-Balagha? It's a rhetorical question, though nobody needs to answer. You have to answer yourself. And then you'll know how important it is in your life. If it has been a while, ever since you opened Nahj al-Balagha, then I would like to say it is not too late. You love Imam Ali, follow his teachings and implement his teachings. That's the meaning of love. I cannot love with my words of mouth. I must love with actions. So what I'm seeking to do tonight is to look at general overview of Nahj al-Balagha. What it entails. What is the authenticity of Nahj al-Balagha? What are my duties and responsibilities towards Nahj al-Balagha? Who was the first to dictate or jot something about Imam Ali alayhi salam? And then inshallah, after the presentation, as you heard it from Brother Ali, you will have opportunities to ask your questions. And I'll appreciate if your questions are in line with the discussion of tonight. And then afterwards, they will test your knowledge of what, inshallah, we're discussing tonight. So the first question is a very simple question. What is Nahj al-Balagha? I want you to think about this, brothers and sisters. Just think. You see, in Islam, and I'm not sure if it's only within Islam, if you want to appreciate anything, terminology, concept, the first point of departure is to appreciate the meanings of the words used, the literal meaning, before you go to the technical meaning. Question I have for all of you. What is the meaning of salat literally? Who knows? If you know, raise up your hand and answer. The meaning of salat. To do what? To connect. Salat. Sila. That's one. Any other meaning? Salah? Literally, what's the meaning of salah? Quickly. So when you climb a mountain, there is a place, yes, Arab call it also salah. Another meaning, common meaning of salah, quickly, no time, jaldi. Dua, ahsantum. The first and foremost literal meaning of salah is dua. But then technically, what's the meaning of salah? An action which involves ruku and sujood, technically. So likewise, when you look at Nahj al-Balagha, it's mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Nahj al-Balagha. Quickly, literally you have the word Nahj, and then you have the word Balagha. There are so many meanings, but I've decided to limit myself with these two. Nahj simply means peak. And then height of something, reaching the higher height. And then, of course, path or way. That's the literal meaning. Now, if you look at Balagha, meaning what? Eloquent. That is why in Arabic, there is a subject called Balagha. And anyone who masters Balagha is too eloquent. Because you're going to learn Ma'ani, Badi, and the rest. So Balagha simply means eloquent or art of good speech. That's the literal meaning. Now, technical meaning, what do we understand by technical meaning? Who can tell me? When we say technical meaning of something, what does it mean? اصطلاحا عندنا معنى اللغوي وعندنا معنى الاصطلاحي. Lugawi meaning the literal meaning. Istilahi, what do you understand when somebody says literal meaning of something? Anyone quickly? Because I know Ali is a very good mookie. He will stop me when my time is up. Where's Ali Rajani? Solid mookie, man. When you say literal technical meaning of something, what do you understand by that? Contextual meaning. So that field you are discussing, how do they define this terminology? Like fiqh, it has literal meaning, it has technical meaning. When I say technical meaning of fiqh, meaning fuqaha, jurists, how do they define fiqh? So this is self-explanatory actually. It's a collection of the sermons, letters, and sayings of Amir al-Mu'minin. It's very simple. Imam Ali, no doubt, was an eloquent speaker, and his words were very effective. I have a question. Here you will excuse me, I will point somebody to answer. Because I want to make it more interactive, you know. I'm a very aggressive guy, I'm a super active guy. So I want people to see it like we are going to Kabristan. You know, I move my body, I move my hand. So I want everybody to be involved tonight. And you'll have your chance to ask me questions, inshallah. My friend Hassan, do you think Imam Ali's words are effective? Yeah. In what way?
Because just like the letter that we have to Malik bin Ashkar, talking about, the main thing I got off there was saying they're either your brothers in faith or equal in humanity.
So how has that affected you?
Treat everybody equal, isn't it? Treat everybody equal. Nobody is above you.
Have you used that before in your life? So that's effectiveness. Effectiveness means what? Something touches your heart and it changes you. I believe, like the way you said, Imam Ali's words are effective. But the question is on you as individuals and myself. Can you put a hand on heart and say, Imam Ali's words have changed you? If you answer no, then you've got a problem. You need to work on your heart. You need to work on your heart. So that's what I'm trying to say here. And Nahj al-Balagha is the masterpiece of Islamic literature, which we'll look into details, inshallah. Third only to the words of Allah and that of the Holy Prophet. Seriously. In Shia world, Quran, words of the Prophet, ahadith, aqwal al-Rasul, for example. The third one are that of Imam Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. In fact, we do have scholars, which I will come to that later, who hold a view, which is not a bad view actually, that in Shia world, after Quran, what we have is Nahj al-Balagha. Yes, we have Sahifat al-Sajjada, which is dua, which is very authentic. But after Quran, if you're looking for hadith, it's Nahj al-Balagha. And yes, we have our 4 books of ahadith. But Nahj al-Balagha is very powerful. And you as a Shia, you cannot be in a house where there is no copy of Nahj al-Balagha. At least if you don't have a copy of Nahj al-Balagha, you need to have Nahj al-Balagha up on your phone. Now, who is the compiler of Nahj al-Balagha? I'm sure you all know the name. If you don't know the name, you can Google, you can remind yourself. But my interest is not just the name of the compiler of Nahj al-Balagha. It's to bring to your attention that the compiler wasn't the first to write something about Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Because there are so many Shias out there who hold this view that the first to compile something about Imam Ali was Sayyid Radi. And you find some non-Shias, unfortunately, abuse that to attack Nahjul Balagha. So please, kindly, I beg your indulgence. You see, before Nahjul Balagha, the sermons, lectures, and letters of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen were in different books, true. So Sayyid Radi compiled all into a book called Nahjul Balagha. Otherwise, the teachings of Imam Ali were always there. But he decided to say, I'm going to do a work whereby I'm going to compile whatever were available to me. He did not compile all that Imam Ali taught. No. Nahjul Balagha is a fraction of some of the teachings of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. And of course, he's Iraqi from Baghdad, solid. Now look at Mas'udi. Of course, he's a scholar who died this age before the birth of Sayyid Radi, and who was a contemporary of not only Sheikh Mufid, even the contemporary of Sheikh Saduq. Kindly pay attention to the rights. Look at what he says, and I quote. The people had memorized his, meaning Imam Ali's, lectures and sermons and different epistles. And their number reaches more than 480 lectures. They were delivered extempo, but people memorized them and continued to narrate them and teach them. Of course, this is the reference of where I got this from. That, of course, he lived before the compiler of Nahjul Balagha came to this world. And was telling us that, look, people used to memorize. Like Quran, for example. The first stage to the existence of the Holy Quran, people were memorizing. Beginning, there was nothing to write. Later on, they started writing. And his narration tells us, when they would hear something, they would go away, ensure that they memorized and understood it before they would go to Prophet for something new. But I and you, mashallah, week in, week out, we have absorbing. How much are we able to contain? That is why it is said, Kayyidul ilma bil aqlam. Restrict and limit knowledge with pens. If you don't take notes, wallah, you'll forget. Ask every speaker who comes and sit here, or every Maulana or Sheikh you call or Sayyid. If you don't write, you'll forget. But of course, you have the PowerPoint, they will give it to you later, and you can also make your own research on Nahjul Balagha. But it's of great importance to understand that. And of course, as I said, he was born in Baghdad and educated under the supervision of Sheikh Al-Mufid. This is very important, this one. Authenticity of Nahjul Balagha. We often get these questions. Is Nahjul Balagha authentic? Or is not authentic? And sometimes there are people, they will look at certain portion of Nahjul Balagha, they say, no, this is not making sense to me. So it's not authentic. So I thought, let him look at this holistically for us to appreciate the importance of Nahjul Balagha. So look at the first sentence. 150 years after the compilation of Nahjul Balagha. This you can make your own research. No serious doubt was expressed about the authenticity of the material collected in that book. 150 years after the compilation of Nahjul Balagha. Nobody casted doubts on Nahjul Balagha. Nobody came forward to say, you know what? This is not right. This is not right. The first man who tried to create some doubt about it was Ibn Khaliqan. He was the first who came out and said, no, this Nahjul Balagha is not good. But I'm going to show you his argument. He wrote So if you look at it, who was not even in Iraq or Egypt, nor in the center of Islamic learning, but he was in Kirawan under the Umayyad kingdom of Spain. He wrote while writing about Sayyid Murtada. You know Sayyid Murtada? The elder brother of Sayyid Radi, the compiler of Nahj al-Balagha. This is what he wrote. People are of different views about the book, Nahj al-Balagha, which is a collection of the talks of Ali ibn Imam Ali. Whether it was compiled by him, that is Sayyid Murtada, or his brother, Sayyid Radi, it is said that this is not from the speeches of Imam Ali, but it was compiled by the man who forged it, and Allah knows best. So this Khalqan, that's what he wrote about Nahj al-Balagha. We'll see the argument. Now, 1 century after this gentleman came al-Dhahabi. Dhahabi is a known scholar, whose prejudice against the Shias is well known if you read the book of al-Dhahabi. And he went even further. He writes in the life history of Sayyid Murtada, not even the Sayyid Radi, Sayyid Murtada. Then he said, whoever would see this book, meaning Nahj al-Balagha, will understand surely that it is superior and forged in the name of Amir al-Mu'minin, this al-Dhahabi saying. Because in this book is open designation of 2 sheikhs, Abu Bakr and Umar. So Dhahabi, that was his interest. That in Nahj al-Balagha, there are places where Abu Bakr and Umar were not mentioned in a right way. And so according to him, this book is not a good book. Then he said, it's not a strange that. This is my response. For 250 years, there was no controversy about Nahj al-Balagha. Because if you add the two, 250 years after Nahj al-Balagha came into existence, there wasn't any controversy. It was only later. And this, he wasn't even a scholar. He had no clue. Al-Zahabi, core enemy of Shias. Up to now, look at the books of Al-Zahabi. Read his works. Core enemy of Shias. And these are the only 2 who casted doubt on Nahj al-Balagha. Today, of course, you'll hear people here and their pocket of people talking about Nahj al-Balagha. But they are neither here nor there. So the fact that there is no powerful scholar who was able to bring something to substantiate that Nahj al-Balagha is not authentic, we regard Nahj al-Balagha as authentic as possible. And I will show you why. Kindly pay attention to the next slides. What non-Shia scholars have to say about Nahj al-Balagha. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Please pay attention to this question. Don't look at the screen. Don't worry about it. You can take the photo, but don't look at it, because the question is coming from there. Have you heard of Ibn Abil Hadid? You heard? Okay, from the gent, if you've heard this name, raise up your hand. Ibn Abil Hadid al-Mu'tazili. Ah, baby. Sant. Raise up your hands if you've heard the name. Okay, I don't have too many hands. Out of like 30 people, I've got like 2-3 hands. Okay, I've got like 4 or 5. Okay, let me go to the ladies, the mothers of the house. Have you heard of Ibn Abil Hadid al-Mu'tazili? Raise up your hands. Ladies are more in number. And I see 2-3 of them also, mashallah. You know, this gentleman has written a commentary on Nahj al-Balagha, and maybe one of the best commentaries of Nahj al-Balagha. Maybe one of the best. And it's not a Shia. It's Mu'tazilite. You know, you have Asha'ira, Mu'tazilite, Maturidiyya, and then you have Ja'fari. These are theological schools of thought we have within Islam. He was Mu'tazilite. And he wrote volumes of commentaries of Nahjul Balagha. He says, look at what he says about Nahjul Balagha. His speeches, meaning referring to the speeches of Imam Ali, his speeches, letters, and sayings are so supremely eminent that they are above the sayings of man and below only to the words of God. None can surpass it but the Holy Quran. His sayings are a miracle of the Holy Prophets. His prophecies shows that his knowledge was superhuman. This is someone who is not a Shia. He lived Sunni, he died Sunni. And today, so many Shia scholars, top scholars, not people like us, because we are babies, they use his commentary to explain Nahjul Balagha. What of you, Shia? Our madrasas, we don't even have classes of Nahjul Balagha. You can have programs on the member throughout the year. You will hardly hear Sheikh, including myself, quote Nahjul Balagha. Here is Ibn Abul Hadid. Now, Sheikh Mohammed Abdahu, he was once a mufti of Egypt, has written a commentary on Nahjul Balagha also. He was a modern thinker who made the world realize the beauty of Islam. True. He was also a professor of Arabic literature and philosophy. He persuaded the universities of Cairo and Beirut to include the book Nahjul Balagha in their courses for advanced studies of literature, which is very, very important, and philosophy. In his introduction to his commentary, this is what he writes about Nahjul Balagha. This is my interest point. Everyone who fully understands Arabic language must agree that the sermons and sayings of Hazrat Ali, sorry, we omitted the Ali, are next to only to the words of God and the Holy Prophets. Sunni again. Ali's words are so full of meanings and they convey such great ideas that this book, Nahjul Balagha, should be very carefully studied, referred, and quoted by students as well as teachers. Nahjul Balagha, you will see towards the end, it's a masterpiece. We don't share it on our Instagram pages to inspire people. We don't use it on TikTok to inspire people. When there are so many wisdoms from this great book. And these are the sayings. Wallah, personally, this is from the bottom of my heart. When I read the work of the Sunni scholars about Nahjul Balagha, I feel ashamed of myself. I feel like I let Imam Ali down. And that is why this seminar for me also is a wake-up call, actually. And I'm going to really do a lot of lectures on Nahjul Balagha, inshallah. Now, this is a Christian fellow. The famous Christian moralist. Bolo Salama, I'm sure you heard of him, man. If you've not heard of this guy, man, then you need to go and read more about Islam, man. It's known guy. He's a good writer. You will think he's a Muslim. He's not a Muslim. In his book, Awalai Mulhama, look at what he says. This is just in Beirut. He says, the famous book Nahjul Balagha is the work which makes one realize the great mind of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Then he said, no book can surpass it but the Quran alone. Said only Quran can surpass Nahjul Balagha. In it, you will find pearls of knowledge, strung in beautiful chains, flowers of language, making one's mind fragrant with sweet and pleasing smell of heroism and nobility. And streams of chaste language, sweeter and cooler than the famous stream of the Kauthar, flowing constantly and refreshing minds of readers. So it's a Christian who wrote this when it comes to Nahj al-Balagha. And you see, these people, my dear brothers and sisters, they read Nahj al-Balagha. They studied it. They scrutinized it. Hence, they concluded this way. If one has not gone through it, how will you conclude? So this is a very simple way to appreciate Nahj al-Balagha. How many parts are in Nahj al-Balagha? This is very simple. Very simple. Nahj al-Balagha obviously is of 3 parts. You know it very well. You have the sermons. I remember when I was in Ghana. Originally I'm from Ghana. Student in Hausa in Ghana. They used to memorize Khutbah to Shakshakiyah. In fact, myself, here and there, I've committed it to memory, but I forgot now. Well, that's when Imam Ali opened his heart. He opened his heart as to what took place after the departure of our beloved Prophet. And it's good if our sons and daughters, even elders, not memorizing, I'm talking about, if you can't memorize, go through it. How Imam Ali said, Wallah, lakat takammasahu. He will say, I swear by Allah. And he will say, don't you know my position to the Holy Prophet? So the sermons are so powerful. Some of these sermons, they were based on certain contexts, situations. And I believe today, some of us, or even our communities globally, we're going through some of those situations. So why not go through Nahj al-Balagha and try to understand the situations? These books shouldn't be there on our shelves. So we have sermons. Letters, because this he learned it from the Holy Prophet. Prophet, how would he engage some people? He would engage them by writing letters to them. How did he invite many kings and opinion leaders to Islam? Prophet would write letters to them. So Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam used to write letters. So you've got the 608 sermons we have in Nahj al-Balagha, 79.3 letters Imam Ali wrote. The easiest one is the wisdom, Hikam. This you may need tafsir, definitely. Letters also, to some extent here and there, you need, because you need to have command in Arabic language. Although, alhamdulillah, today English translations are there, but you need some command in Arabic, in philosophy, in spirituality, in mantiq, I believe. But there are some self-explanatory. The wisdom are solid. Today, you know what I find sometimes I don't understand sometimes. You find people are so fascinated about motivational speakers. When a motivational speaker throws something, everybody goes crazy. Oh, this is so powerful. But wallah, I tell you, if you build a relationship with the wisdoms in Nahj al-Balagha, you sorted, Habibi. So I would say, why not some of our youth go to the wisdom of, some of the wisdom is just long as this. Not that too long. And share it. It appeals to the heart. And it helps us. So we have 973 wisdoms in Nahj al-Balagha. This for me is the most important part of tonight actually. So next time when you have a Nahj al-Balagha workshop, either with me or someone else, you don't do anything. You say, let's take one topic. And let's exhaust it within an hour. Nahj al-Balagha, my dear brothers and sisters, is of many different topics. I was discussing with some of my speakers, friends. I said, you see, really, if you hold onto Nahj al-Balagha, for how many years to come, you have your member lectures sorted. Wallahi. Sometimes you see me on a member, one is struggling to pull something here. You're struggling. Because we've left, when I was telling them, just 3 days ago, when I was preparing for this workshop, actually, to tell you the truth. I was telling them, yeah, we go to here and there. But now I realize Nahj al-Balagha alone, if I hold my next 10-year Muharram, if we remain alive, topics are sorted. Wallahi. And that's when we felt, we're like 5, 6 of us, we've left Nahj al-Balagha. So, knowledge of Allah. Question I have for you. What do you think is the knowledge of Allah? Describe knowledge of Allah for me. Who can do that? Habibi Kazim. His knowledge is infinite. Okay, so maybe let me rephrase the question. What do you think is the main difference between Allah's knowledge and human or his creatures' knowledge? He has the knowledge of the unseen. We can't comprehend. That is good. Any other difference between our knowledge and that of Allah? His knowledge is absolute. Our knowledge is relative. Ahsantum. That's excellent. His knowledge is Allah. But our knowledge is not part of us. There is nur separate and there is knowledge separate. You understand? But sifatuhu aynu dhati, that's what our brother say. Wa dhatuhu aynu sifati. His attributes are his essence. And his essence are his attribute. But you've got essence separate from your attribute. So as they say, Allah's knowledge is knowledge of the things before they happen. And our knowledge is the knowledge of things after they happen. So the first and foremost topic of Nahj al-Balagha is knowledge of Allah. His attributes, his worship, divine decree, etc. You can go more. Second topic, knowledge of the universe. Imam Ali discussed this into details. How the universe came about and how it was created. Look at Nahj al-Balagha and you will not regret. And here we say creation of heaven and earth, properties of living beings, human nature, angels, shaitan. Imam alayhi salam looked at creation holistically in Nahj al-Balagha. Number 3, knowledge of the proofs of Allah, meaning Hujajullah. He discusses prophet, prophethood, Ahlul Bayt, the Holy Quran, etc. So for example, you can take a topic, Quran in Nahj al-Balagha. This can give you like 5 to 10 sessions, actually. You can say, Imama in Nahj al-Balagha. Or Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam in Nahj al-Balagha. This one topic. And then government and society. You know one thing which still we lack, and it's not because you don't have materials. When we discuss Ahlul Bayt, we hardly discuss the political dimension of Ahlul Bayt. When in Ziyarah we say, Antum Sasatuddin, you are the politicians of this religion. So politics are of 2 types. We have the satanic politics, you have the divine politics. Divine politics meaning there is no corruption. It's done properly. So Ahlul Bayt, salamullah alayh, they are the politicians of this religion, meaning they are the leaders of this religion. And Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam discussed government and society, which is one of the amazing attraction of Nahj al-Balagha actually. But interestingly, if you examine the lives of all our imams, each one of them had a political dimension to his life. And you can really look at the today's context and discuss the political dimensions of each one of our, even Sayyidah Fatima salamullah alayha. So, under this, you've got politics. Imam Ali discussed politics in Nahj al-Balagha. Hassan, where is he? Imam Ali said the letter he sent to Malik Ashtar is one. There are others. But sometimes when we discuss the letter, we only quote the only one line. An-nasu simfan. Imma akhul laka fi din, aw nadhirun laka fil khalq. People are of two kinds. Either your brother in faith, but that letter is too long a letter actually. It's very long. How to treat people, how to approach people. So politics is discussed in Nahj al-Balagha. I do get a lot of questions from students, university students of our community. Sheikh, please, can you tell me something about Islamic politics? I said, look at Nahj al-Balagha. Truth and falsehood, types of people, duties of rulers, poverty. Imam Ali discussed in Nahj al-Balagha. I said, look, our even community leaders, president and staff, before you stand, go through Nahj al-Balagha and see how Imam Ali described and discussed leadership. The next is rules of Sharia. Sharia. Amir al-Mu'minin discuss the philosophy behind certain Sharia we undertake. For example, philosophy of the laws, taqiyya, branches of religion. Imam discuss, says it in Nahj al-Balagha. And then he spoke of morals. Now let me ask you a tricky question. Kindly everyone pay attention. How many components are there for our religion? Component of religion. How many are there? You take deen. How many compositions or components do we have? Anyone? Anyone from the ladies? Component of religion, how many are there? Huh? So uncle is saying 2. Usul and furu. Okay, I take that, I park it. Let me hear someone else, then I'll come back. Asante, uncle. Any other? Sister Batul? So she got the accurate one. You're right. But hers is accurate. So uncle is saying usul and furu, meaning ahkam and aqaid. But Sister Batul said no. Ahkam, aqaid, akhlaq. So if you go advanced studies in Hausa, they will not put only usul and furu. Because without akhlaq, I'm bankrupt. I may have knowledge than any other person in this world. If I don't have akhlaq, I'm useless. Excuse my word. Akhlaq is everything. So Imam Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam discussed akhlaq. He looked at reasoning. He looks at contemplation. He looks at intellect and the knowledge itself. Imam Ali looked at the world and the hereafter. He looks at taqwa. You want to know who is the best person to befriend? Imam Ali discussed friendship in Nahj al-Balagha. He also discusses tongue and the right of our tongues, etc. There are those who are very interested in history. Amir al-Mu'minin discusses history in Nahj al-Balagha. Life of Imam Ali is in Nahj al-Balagha. Battles, Imam Ali discussed some battles in Nahj al-Balagha. And then you have companions. And he also discussed enemies in Nahj al-Balagha. Event of the departure, or event after the departure of our beloved prophets. Imam Ali discussed this. And then the last, but certainly not the least, he looks at the knowledge of the hereafter. So he discussed death, he discussed grave, day of judgment, heaven and hell. So these are main topics Nahjul Balagha, discuss. And so my duty, your duty is what? Pick up this one topic and start making your research on it in Nahjul Balagha. Now next slide. Sorry. Benefit of learning Nahjul Balagha. Because somebody will say, okay, fine, all these topics, what is the benefit? If I learn Nahjul Balagha, what's the benefit? Look at the first one. It's a practical embodiment of the teachings of the Quran. No doubt. Wallahi. If you have a strong relationship with the Quran and you go into Nahjul Balagha, you will appreciate the teaching of Imam Ali alayhi salam. It's a practical embodiment of the Quran. Meaning Nahjul Balagha, one way or the other, enhances our understanding of the Holy Quran. Number two, studying this book reveals many hidden facts about the creation of the universe. When you master Nahjul Balagha, especially if you master the creation, the topic creation in Nahjul Balagha, you'll be able to extract the hidden gems behind creation. That's Nahjul Balagha. The purpose of the creation of man is known by studying this book. Yes. Let me ask random questions. Uncle, why are you in this world? Why are you here? Uncle said is here to worship Allah. Okay. Bro, why are you here in this world? Okay, he said same reason, he's here to worship Allah. Okay. Sheikh Anwar's brother, why are you here in this world? Why are you here in Leicester? What are you doing? Which duty? So give me one. Eh? So he said he's here to fulfill his duty, and typical example, to look after his family. Okay, let me come to the ladies. Who can answer? Why are you here in this world? Who can tell me? Who is saying ibadah? Okay, Mama is saying ibadah. Anyone else? Why are you here? Mama, the one in front seat, business class. Okay, Mama said she's in this world to take knowledge of Rajul Classic. Well done, Mama. May Allah Mawla Salamat Raki. From the ladies, why are you here in this world? Why here? Why? Why did you come? Aji is saying to achieve perfection. That's a good one. I love that. We are here to achieve perfection, Allah. Because Allah is perfect. So He created you to be perfect. So all that you mention are some of the things you do to achieve perfection. So if you understand Nahjul Balagha, Imam Ali discusses the purpose of creation. Why am I here? And you know, people tend to ask these questions when they are faced with challenges in life. When things are not going well, no money, family problem, that problem, they start to ask, what am I even here for? So Amir al-Mu'mineen discusses it beautifully. And interestingly, I've gone through that actually. The other benefit is this book contains the wisdom of successful life. You want to achieve success? Let me ask another question. I start with the ladies first, those who have not spoken. What is success in Islam? What is successful life? Who can tell me? What is successful life? Yeah, Odu Bolo. So Mama is saying when you gain Allah's proximity, then you have achieved perfection. Kamal, I understand. Kamal ki manzil hai. Aapse milke khush hui, Mama. Tora, Urdu. I'm learning Urdu, but I'm still primary. But very good, Mama. Now, oh, salam, how are you? MashaAllah. What is successful life in Islam? Mama, she's done well actually. Successful life. No, those who have not spoken, then I will come. Successful life. What is successful life in Islam? Eh? It's okay. No worry. Don't worry. Uncle is saying taqwa. So Mama is saying qurb al-ilahi. Taqwa, qurb al-ilahi. Okay. Any other? What is successful life?
Identifying what you're good at and using that to serve society and community.
MashaAllah. He said identifying what you're good at and using that to serve society. That's good. But still. But you've done well. Any other person to respond? Okay, Habibi Kabla. He said when you live your life according to what Allah wants and you die the same way. Haji, you wanted to say something? That's good. To take your akhlaq to the next level. So all that you guys have mentioned are excellent. Successful life, Abibi, is to feel God is there. God is not absent in my life. Regardless of my status, regardless of my circumstance, I feel God is there. That's why you know the teachings of Ahlul Bayt. When you wake up in the morning and you still find you love Ahlul Bayt, Allah's ni'mah has been perfected on you. That's life. So now you've realized the need for Nahj Balagha. When you study Nahj Balagha, you can, for example, you can invite somebody, a sheikh or anyone. Please, the topic is success in Nahj Balagha. I don't want any other thing. Come and talk about success in Nahj Balagha. That's very important. Now, if you look at this one, it's a great collection of manners from which we can derive grace. Today, akhlaq is bankrupt. Nahj Balagha teaches. And the last one contains the wisdom of anthropology, absolutely, in Nahj Balagha, with the help of which we can avoid the company of bad people in life. Today, youth struggle who to befriend. So Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam teaches us in Nahj Balagha who to befriend, who not to befriend. Now, this is the takeaway. Kindly, I beg you, brothers and sisters, pay attention to this. Especially we are in the holy month of Rajab. Thanks to Ali Rajani, he gave me so many options, but I chose this sermon. Khutbatul Muttaqin. The sermon of Hammam. I try to break it into pieces for you, into 3 layers. But it's a solid khutbah, brothers and sisters. Wallahi, this khutbah is a game changer when it comes to spirituality. Wallahi. I give you a typical example. You know, in Birmingham, every month I have a session, closed door session, not open for everyone. But this session, we discuss undiscussable. Like, think of any controversy. I lead, but we have many people who come. We have a WhatsApp group for that. We rotate from different houses. We have more than 50, 60 people. Every month we meet to discuss undiscussable. Think of anything. Anything. We research, we discuss. Now there's a time, the one who came with the idea said to me, Sheikh, let's discuss a bit of spirituality. So I decided to pick up this sermon. Game changer. Wallah, I saw the benefit of it from many. Even in myself. You know why? Because this great companion of Imam Ali, Hammam, came to Imam. And he said to Imam, describe a believer for me. To the extent like I see him in my naked eye. Like you describing, and I'm seeing him physically. So Imam Ali said to him, Ahsin, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَالَّذِينَ هُمُ الْمُحْسِنُونَ. He said to Hammam, be kind, be generous. Because Allah is with those who are pious and generous. But then when Imam answered that to Hammam, he saw on the face of Hammam, Hammam wasn't satisfied. It's like Unwan al-Basri. But that's a bit different. Unwan al-Basri, Imam Jafar Sadiq told him, go, you're not ready for knowledge. You go. He came to Imam Jafar, he wanted to learn. Imam said, no, you are not ready, you go. When the time is up, you should come. He was wondering, Baba, this is the grandson of the Prophet. I'm coming to learn, and he's telling me go. Not knowing that Imam was teaching him discipline of learning. Don't take knowledge for granted. Come this way, not that way. So Hammam, Imam Ali gave him one line with a verse of the Quran. Hammam wasn't happy, man. You know, like sometimes people come to the Maulana, you can ask Sheikh Ali Abbas, he will tell you. You give a punchline answer, you look at the face of the guy, you tell you, Sheikh, even when I come, you don't answer my question. But you know, answers depend on individuals. Sometimes I will give you one answer, I will give him detailed answer, depending on how you ask the question. Even our Maraji, when you go to them with questions, depending on how you ask, you get the answer. So then Imam Ali now, alhamdulillah, went into somewhat details. And this khutbah is divided into 3. Kindly please pay attention. This is the last part and then your questions. One part is a relationship between you and yourself. What is it that you should do to know yourself, to build your relationship with? Because if you don't have a relationship with yourself, you are finished. If you cannot make peace with yourself, forget about making peace with anyone in the mosque. You're going to stress us every day in the mosque. And you will be the loudest in the mosque. You know, there are people, they are loudest is because they are not at peace with themselves. They are frustrated, so they want to throw it. So first, I need to know myself. Imam Ali in one narration says, whoever makes himself a teacher, but use the word imam, leader, teacher, فَلْيَبْدَى بِتَرْبِيَّةِ نَفْسِهِ. Now first, start the nurturing of yourself before you think of teaching someone else. I cannot come and say, Yalla Maulana, Sheikh Nuru, Bismillah. When whatever I'm teaching you, I've never dreamt of implementing one of it. It's a waste of time. That's why Imam Jafar, when he was asked, who is a scholar to teach? Imam Jafar said, a scholar is the one, Man idha nadarta ilayhi yudhakkiruka al-akhirah. The one when you look at him, by just looking at him, that look reminds you of Allah and akhirah. That's a scholar. So Imam Salamullah alayh teaches us. So the first, this is the second one, but the first I said relation between you and yourself. Second, you and the community. How do I conduct myself in the community? And then the third, you and Allah. So what I want from all of us, I beg you, if you can. You cannot take everything. Choose one or two and build the relationship. So I try to break it. In the community, try to speak properly. I'm just going to give you the sharh. Don't offend people with your tongue. There are people, when they talk to you, like I was mentioning yesterday, my Juma Friday, you will spend 1 week in pain because their mouth, diarrhea, is too sharp than the knife. There are people, they don't know how to talk. They are ugly in their tongues. You are not a believer. You can call yourself Shia, you are not. You can have a Quran in your mind, everything. If you don't know how to talk to people, you are not even a Muslim, let alone a believer. But Imam Ali means Sifatil Muttaqeen. One of the main qualities of a true believer is that they speak properly. You may be right, I may be wrong, but speak to me properly, Habibi. The fact that you are right doesn't mean you have a boarding pass to talk to me anyhow. That's what Amir al-Mu'mineen is talking about. Your akhlaq. Number 2, moderation. Don't overdo things and don't underdo. Do everything in moderation. It's a sign of a believer. When I talk in moderation. When I eat in moderation. When I advise in moderation. Don't overdo things. Your energy is not like my energy. I don't expect you to pull more like me, or you don't expect me to pull more like you. We are not the same. Go to people according to their circumstances. Hence, Amir al-Mu'minin sallallahu alayhi talks of mizan. Go in moderation, Habibi. Number 3, humbleness. Wallah, today we lack humility, Habibi. You know salat. This goes on the ground. The less valuable thing ever created by Allah is earth. Although in economics, it's a factor of production. Yeah? But it's the less, because why? We walk on it. We throw everything on it. And the most precious thing ever created by Allah is this face. Allah says in Salah, this most precious, put it on the less precious. Why? Allah wants you to be humble. You're not a true believer if you are not humble. You know how people are arrogant? Wallah. Today people pray in the same mosque. They call in the same Imam Mahdi, but they are extremely arrogant. Some, maybe because of the knowledge we have, we become arrogant over the people we are teaching. Some, because of maybe leadership or whatever the leadership might be, we become arrogant. Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, Imamul Muttaqeen, is telling us one of the attributes of Muttaqi is humble, mutawadi'. Look at the next one. Avoiding the forbidden. As simple as that. You know, on the night of the Shahada of Sayyidina Zainab, I discussed a topic of hijab. So I discussed the hijab of Fatima and Zainab. Some people were asking me, but why? I said, because I see some people in our community, they are now taking forbidden lightly. No, I will eat. It's not a big deal, I will eat. You too much haram, too much haram. No, I'm not saying that. I will watch. No problem, the YouTube I will watch. Lala, Imam Ali say avoid the haram. If it's beyond your control, it's beyond your control. But you have to avoid the haram. What is forbidden by Allah, I need to avoid it. Otherwise, I will always find salat boring, Quran boring, fasting boring. And then look at it. Listen to beneficial knowledge. Don't just listen for listening's sake. Listen to what you know it will benefit you in your dunya and akhirah. Don't listen for listening's sake. Even don't listen to me for listening's sake. Wallah. Because it's amanat. I have to listen because it benefits me. And I know this is from Ahlul Bayt and Quran. Very important. But look at the next one. Greed for knowledge, Habibi. Question, rhetorical question. When last did you learn a new tafsir of a verse in Quran? Do you attend classes? Amir al-Mu'minin saying, Habibi, not to me. They are greed for knowledge. Alhamdulillah, good attendance. I'm impressed, actually. Ladies parked there. Men also, alhamdulillah, it's excellent. You've done well. This greediness is what Amir al-Mu'minin is talking about. It's cold, it's at night, but you hear. But let this be a point of departure. How many Islamic books do you have in your digital library or physical library. Last year, 2024, how many Islamic books have you completed? Greed for knowledge, Imam Ali said. So I try to break the khutbah into small pieces for you to understand. Look at this one. Endurance of hardship. Today people don't have patience. People are impatient. Especially the youth. We have so many youth today. Small thing, they become agitated. Be patient. Especially when you're worshiping God. If you are a good Muslim, you must be patient. You come to the community, be patient. You will never always not get it the way you want. But the fact that you don't get it the way you want doesn't mean that you curse the community. Sabr karo, isbiru, wasabiru, warabitu. Be patient. Forgiving who wronged them. Allah. No, I will never forgive, Sheikh. We will meet on the day of Qiyamah. I say, Yalla, go and meet on the day of Qiyamah. I'm done, bro. I will never forgive. But Imam Ali said, forgive those who wrong you. In fact, we have a tradition actually from Imam Jafar Sadiq that forgive the way you expect Allah to forgive you. Okay. Conche, if you don't forgive, and then what? Kiyama, okay, you don't forgive. Yalla, go. By not forgiving, what's going to happen to your body? If you want to add something, you're going to do something. I mean, we said forgive. Look at this one. Avoiding indecent speech. You know, some people, vulgar, unpleasant words they use. You don't do that as a believer. I'm sure you've read all. Be trustworthy. Some people are not trustworthy. They are not trustworthy in words, in action. They are not. Be trustworthy, Habibi. Try to suppress your anger. Remember Imam Kazim? So I tried to break it one after that. I had to go through the khutbah. Suppress your anger. And then people are at ease with them. There are people, when they sit, you will see nobody sitting around them. There are people even in their homes, fathers or mothers, when they enter, children will look for their spaces and sleep. Because they are like Hitlers in the house. Habibi. Yeah. You have to create a conducive atmosphere in the house. And that's important. And then, of course, good deeds are expected from them. You know, when they talk of good deeds, then I know you will do. I know you. So this is ijtima'i. Like a mu'min has to put up with this when he's in a community. Now quickly, let's go because I know my time is. This is your personal, between you and yourself. The other one is between you and people. Being suspicious about themselves. Here is a very tricky one. Don't be overconfident. Reasonably be confident. But don't be over. But some scholars said no. What it means is what? Don't blame yourself. Trust God is there. You just try your level best. So there are different versions to this when I was looking at the sharh. You know, you've done your best. Leave the rest with Allah. Stop blaming yourself. This. No. Otherwise, you'll be stuck. You'll not move forward. Look at this one. Fear of being complimented. Today, if you don't compliment people, they will slaughter you. This is hard. This is not easy. There are people in the community, when they donate, if you don't mention their names, you are finished. If you say Bande Khoda, so I went to a community, I don't want to mention the name. Somebody donated, mashallah, good amount of money. So the Muki stood there. He said, Bande Khoda donated this amount. That night, Muki had to spend 2 hours trying to ask for forgiveness. So why are you telling me, Bande Khoda? Mention my... So a true believer is worried, man, when he's complimented. Because people can take you here when you are here. Imam Ali say, not me. So when someone compliments you, okay. But you do your self-introspection. Keep talking to yourself. Don't get carried away. Don't get carried away, Habibi. Because insan is insan. This tongue can say anything. Having faith with certainty. Be certain. Allah is there. Yaqeen. Allah will not let you down. Look, forbearance again. And then look at this one. Hoping for the next life and detachment from this materialistic world. Detachment doesn't mean I don't work for this world, but the world doesn't control me. It doesn't dictate my salat time. It doesn't dictate my Quran time. When it clashes, I throw it, I go to Allah. You see, some they are slaves of their work, they are slaves of their money. And then the last one, temperance, self-restraint, and simplicity. Imam Ali was very simple. Simple, man. Last one. Oh, sorry, man. This will help us with Rajab, man. All actually, but this one more. We're in the holy month of Rajab. Al-alaka ma Allah, connection with Allah. Salatul Layl. Wa min al-layli safuna akdamahum. Oh. تالين لأجزاء القرآن. Namaz sharp. Imam Ali said, one of the qualities of a believer is that he wakes up at night to pray. Salatul Layl. Namaz sharp. I was quoting a tradition on Thursday in Birmingham. Prophet called Imam Ali. And he said to me, Ya Ali, take good care of 3 things in your life. 3. Listen to the 3, guys. Listen to the 3. So Amir al-Mu'minin Salamullah alayhi asked our beloved Prophet, what are the 3 things I must take? Yani Prophet now is talking to Imam Ali. There are 3 things you cannot give them a miss. Number 1, he said, Oh Ali, Salatul Layl. Number 2, he said, Oh Ali, Salatul Layl. Number 3, he said, Oh Ali, Salatul Layl. Namaz sharp. You can do the shorter form, no problem. That's the shorter form, the longer form. Salatul Layl. Allama Tabatabai said, when I went to Najaf to study, his spiritual guru, Allama Qadi, Qaddasallahu nafsa, who is also buried in Wadi Salam. Allama Tabatabai, the advice he gave me only one advice. He said, Oh Husayn, if you want to achieve success in your studies of dunya and to get success in akhirah, فَعَلَيْكَ بِصَلَاةِ اللَّيْلِ. Wake up at night to pray. And you know, and I know, it's an open secret. There is no optional act in Islam that triggers more emphasis than Salat al-Layl. That's why Allah made it obligatory, wajib on our beloved Prophet. In fact, his religion began with Salat al-Layl. Ya ayyuhal muzammil, qumil layla illa qalila. Surah al-Muzammil is among the first chapters revealed unto our beloved Prophet, and it began with Salat al-Layl. Hence Imam Ali said, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ صَافُونَ أَقْدَامَهُم. One of their qualities is that in the darkness of the night, they are on their feet. Especially the young ones. Don't wait until it's late. Begin now. Especially in this day and age, we have a longer night, shorter day. Salat al-Layl, Habibi, is the secret of creation from the Islamic perspective. Whoever achieved whatever he or she achieved in the way of Allah is as a result of Salat al-Layl. And I mention this, then we move forward. The Holy Prophet said, Shaitan has 3 tricks. One narration says 3 knots around the neck of the son of Adam. 3. Then Prophet said, the moment the son of Adam wakes up at night with the intention of Salatul Layl, by just waking up from sleeping, 1 knot is dismantled. Then Prophet said, when he or she goes for wudu, that wudu of Salatul Layl, the 2nd knot is dismantled. Then Prophet said, when he comes and he stands, Allahu Akbar for Salatul Layl, the 3rd knot is dismantled. Allah. Ayatollah Bahjat, he said, we achieve what we achieved because of Salat al-Layl. Wallah. And today people have this mindset. It's too difficult. Salat al-Layl is not difficult, Habibi. Wallah. You can even recite only Surah Al-Fatiha without any other chapter and you do Salat al-Layl. I don't want to spoil you much. You can even sit and do Salat al-Layl because it's nafilah. And if you miss it for good reasons, while driving, you can pay back your salat. But be careful of the road offense. You can walk while paying Salat al-Layl. Nafila, when you pay back, Qibla is not a condition. Look at how easy Allah makes things for us. And wallah, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, humbly, if you hold onto Salat, I'm sure those who do Salat al-Layl, they will vouch for this. Your life become peaceful, Bana. Imam Ali, you know what he said? Prepare for your next day by waking up at night. So, Salat al-Layl and Quran, of course, Imam Ali mentioned. Look at the second one. Seeking a cure for themselves in the Holy Quran. Which cure? We are not talking of physical health. We are talking about the diseases of the heart, hypocrisy, gossip, backbite, slandering, undermining. These are diseases of the heart. And this will make it difficult for one to get to Allah. Tabarak wa ta'ala. So a mu'min, hold on to Quran. Alhamdulillah, you have the pace. They are doing very well, Leicester, for Quran now. You hold on to that, Habibi. It cleanses the heart. It soothes the heart. Even if it's 1 verse every day. Why not? 1 verse every day. Although Prophet said 10 verse, but these are all encouragement. 1 verse. You want to begin until the holy month of Ramadan. 1 verse every day. It won't take anything away from you. Look at the next one. Their hearts are influenced by the Holy Quran. Oh, Allahu Akbar. A mu'min, the moment he hears Quran, he leaves everything. He shivers. Habibi. He shivers. Wallah. The moment he hears Quran, a mu'min begins to shiver. إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. Believers are those, when Allah is being remembered, they begin to shake. And when it is being explained to them, it increases their reliance on Allah. So please, brothers, this is what Imam Ali says. Look at the next one. Humility in worship. Not Allah Akbar, Sami Allah, Allah Akbar, Sami Allah. It's okay. Fiqhiyan, it may be accepted. But you know, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. They are humble in their salah. Allahu Akbar. Not too slow, but not too fast. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. They pray. They are humble. When they hold the Quran, they are humble. Allah. And then last but certainly not the least, remembering and thanking Allah throughout the day. Master the art of gratitude. Master the art of gratitude. Shukur karo. Be grateful. Sometimes we complain too much. You know, when you become grateful, it brings positive energy. You feel good. So Amirul Mu'minin Sallallahu Alaihi said, you want to build a relationship with Allah? Dhikr first. 2, grateful to Allah. And you know there are 3 types of dhikr. Bil lisan, bil kalb, bil jawarih. Dhikr with tongue, dhikr with heart, and dhikr with body. What is dhikr with tongue? Allah ka shukur. I thank Allah. Khuda shukur guzar cho. I thank Allah. Dhikrun bil lisan. Wa amma bi ni'mati rabbika fahaddith. Thank you, Allah. Why not? When you finish salah, you go sajda 3 times. Shukran lillah. Thank you, Allah. This is from Ahlul Bayt. Salamullah alayhim ajma'in. But then we have a dhikr with the heart. You know what is dhikr with the heart? Is to imagine Allah only and only in a positive way. That Allah will never do any harm to me. Yani dhikrun bil qalb, they said what? Tasawwur azamatillah. You imagining the greatness of Allah. And then the last one, bil jawari, zikr with your body. You know what it means? Go do something for the sake of Allah. Is it sadaqah you're going to give? Or you're going to volunteer your time? Go take your body and do something. So, inshallah, this is in short the introductory workshop of Nahjul Balagha. Now it's your time. I know we've taken time to ask your